And welcome to Botanical University Challenge 2023.
There, I'm a bit of a 20th century techno phobe here. Anyway, I will go through these briefly. I just want to tell you a bit about what we've been doing. We know we've got these wonderful teams waiting in the wing for the contest. And we have our wonderful planning and technical team, and I'm in ground control with them as we speak. Wonderful prizes donated by Field Studies Council. We're very grateful for their support. Everyone, all the participants today will get the Heath and Myers ID sheet, and as teams progress through, Field Studies Council kindly stack more and more of these lovely ID aids as we go through. The SBI will be offering paperless student membership to the quarterfinalists, semi-finalists, and finalists. So that will kick in from next week. You can download your own audience play-along sheet from our website. Please do, and feel free to tweet as you go along. New for this year is that we have live finals, and Nottingham University is supporting our live final on the 5th of July. Susie Leiden is our lead there, and on the 5th of July there will be a live audience. So audience, you're welcome to head to Nottingham for the final, and that'll be the semi-finals and the final and the grand prize giving, and then the 6th of July, well, the evening of the 5th and the 6th of July is a student botany festival, our student botany festival, which is part of Botanical University Challenge's ethos of bringing students together from across the countries, really just to geek out on plants and to enjoy plants and to talk careers and projects and all kinds of things. So we're really looking forward to that. That would be a fantastic event. And every participant in Botanical University Challenge has an invitation to the Student Botany Festival, all the student participants. And we have funding from the Gatsby Foundation, the New Phytologist Foundation, and the British Ecological Society to help with this. This is a busy slide, and I will tweet it, but I just wanted to tell everybody that we've been doing lots of things since last year. We've been talking with our student alumni, asking them what they want in addition to this fun quiz. We've started a newsletter. Hattie Roberts from Lancaster and others, and all the names that you see on here are student alumni. I've been producing this fabulous newsletter for Times. If you haven't seen it, head to our website, you'll find it there. 2 issues have gone out, and the third one will be in April. We're publishing what we've been doing with Botanical University Challenge. There's an article coming out in the British Ecological Society, The Niche, in March, and we have a publication which we're submitting to Plant People Planet very soon, all about Botanical University Challenge and our future aspirations. Really important is our Student Get Creative with Plants competition, which is spearheaded by Thomas McBride, who was in the winning Nottingham team last year. And he has devised a wonderful competition where you can enter fine art, photography, or multimedia, 3 sections, yeah, just get involved with this. The deadline is 21st of April, so there's loads of time, and there's more details on the website and also in the newsletter. We're looking into the development of an online Botanical University Challenge, and Callum McClellan, Lancaster contestant, is working with us on developing a platform where student botanists and other plant geeks can hang out, chat, discuss, again, careers, projects, all kinds of things. I've mentioned the Student Botany Festival, and maybe in the future, Botanical University Challenge International. We've already seen spin-offs in Spain, United States, Netherlands, and Thailand, and we're really seriously looking at, in the future, developing the concept internationally. This is the Get Creative with Plants competition. A bit more information here. I'll make sure this is tweeted so you can have a look at it. But choose your category and get your entries in. And we will be announcing the winners and having an exhibition at the Nottingham Student Festival. So this is the game for all student botany. So back to our teams. We're going to, in a moment, meet each of our teams very briefly for a smile and a wave. So teams, get yourself ready. Tech team, get yourself ready. This is the lovely slide that Muriel Jones has produced, which shows all the teams and the reach that Botanical University Challenge has achieved now. England, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. And we have seen year on year an increase in the number of teams, and I see no reason why this shouldn't continue into the future. So now, I think if we can bring on our teams one by one, as I say, just for a wave and a smile, before we get down to the business of the quiz. Absolutely. Durham University. So Durham University, Arabic, I can hardly say this wonderful name. Arabic can't top this. I think it's a fantastic name. And we're delighted to see Durham back in Botanical University Challenge this year. Okay, and we have Eden Project Learning, Males Intent, a wonderful name, and a team that have been with us, or institute that have been with us for some years now. Hello. Wave and smile, and there's mascots going on there as well. Yeah. Super. And now we move on to Edge Hill. Sedge Hill is the wonderful name, of course, the cyperaceous Edge Hill University. And Edge Hill, let me just tell you, have been involved in Botanical University Challenge every year since it started in 2000. Thank you so much. Delighted to welcome now Imperial College London. Delighted to see you back. You competed a couple of years ago, and it's great to see you back. The Evergreens, Imperial College. Hello. Okay, now we're moving on. We've got Manchester Met. Big wave for Manchester Met, another very faithful team, and of course, previous winners. So I think they're looking for another win this year. Good luck, good luck. And now we're at the Motley Q, or the Mertley Q. I think it probably should be pronounced. I'm not sure. Anyway, Q, welcome back. We've had this before, and we have one member of the team who's played for rugby before, so hello. Now over to Ireland, the Trinity Pteridophytes, and very much welcome. This is newcomers for this year. We're delighted to welcome no fewer than 3 universities from Ireland. So welcome Trinity. And now we have University College Dublin. So same place, different team, not to be confused. The Heavy Petal. Fabulous name, and I love it. And you are newcomers as well, so welcome, welcome. Now let's go all the way up to Scotland, to Aberdeen, the Aberdeen Alders. The Aberdeen Alders, welcome Aberdeen Alders. I love your well, yeah, lots of enthusiasm and botanical smiles going on there. Fabulous, fabulous. And we're going to ping down now to Wales and Aberystwyth. Welcome back, Aberystwyth. Where have you been? You were in the first Botanical University Challenge back in 2016, and you are very, very, very welcome back. And now we have botanically infused Bristol, so botanically infused that they wanted to enter more than one team, and we deeply apologise that we couldn't accept more than one team. We might do that in the future, but it's delightful to have you here, and welcome the Bristol Pistols. Okay, Darwin's Diabolical Deuterostones, University of Cambridge, and welcome. We've got team members who have played before, some team members have played quite a few times before, and even one before, but you're all welcome, and very best of luck to you. And now we go to another newcomer team, University of Dundee, the Deadly Nightshades. How about that for a name? Lots of waves for Deadly Nightshades. Welcome, welcome, newcomers. And now we're over more newcomers, over to East Anglia, the University of East Anglia, the Good Vines only. Big wave for more newcomers. And then we're moving now to across southwest to University of Exeter, and a lovely team name, the Chrysanthemums. How about that for a name? And more newcomers. So that's a fabulous name for a newcomer team. Exeter, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, back across to Ireland. Galway Ginkgos. Okay, you were our first Irish team last year. You did well. Good luck this year. Well, one of my old alma maters now at the University of Lancaster, the Liger Fighters of Lancaster, and you are welcome back to play Botanical University Challenge again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we're still not at 20 teams yet. We're on number 18 on my list. University of Liverpool, the Liverpool Lambananas. You've played before and you've come very close to winning before, so good luck. I'm not allowed to express preferences, but I absolutely love the bastard toe flaxes. Why wouldn't I? University of Manchester, welcome, and welcome to a beautiful plant and a beautiful team name. Okay, we've got to 20 on my list now. We're at the University of Nottingham, last year's winners, no pressure, because they're saying that we don't know the answer. I bet you do. I bet you do. All the very best. Well, okay. We're over the top. We're at number 21, University of Oxford, the Bad Birches. The names just go on and on. I'm absolutely loving your enthusiasm. I'm loving your team name. Welcome, Oxford. More newcomers now. We're going down to the coast, to Portsmouth, Purple Portillas, newcomers, but extremely welcome and extremely purple. Okay, I should hand over to someone else to introduce, but I'm not going to. Welcome my team from the University of Reading, the Oopsie Daisies, and what a name. What a name. Welcome, welcome. All the best. All the very best. Penultimate, University of Southampton, and welcome back, because you were here from the start. You may or may not know, but there was a Southampton team in the very first Botanical University back in 2006. And the Dandelion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is such a great name. It doesn't fit into our system. It's too long, but it's a fabulous name. And finally, last but absolutely not least, University of Warwick, back for a second time, the Warwick Willows, and you are so welcome. And that takes us to our 25 wonderful teams. And I'm now going to ask John Warren to introduce the chairs, our two chairs for today's contest. Thank you, John.
Yeah, thank you, Jonathan. I think, everybody's going to agree that they're a fantastic set of names, but it doesn't just extend to the teams. Of course, it extends to the chairs this year, the people we've got asking questions to you this afternoon. So we've got a pair of botanists. We've got a pioneer species and a veteran tree. We've got Leif Besweden, who has his PhD in plant genetics from Kew and who's a botanical evangelist and has written a number of fabulous books, popular books to get people interested in all things botanical. And we've got Henry Ford, who I only discovered at our sort of last meeting, Jonathan, that both of us first met Henry when we were undergraduates, and we weren't undergraduates together. So you can see we've known Henry quite a long time, and he's worked as a botanist all over the world as a freelance botanist, but primarily he's famous for being the man behind the Ecoflora database. And with that, I'm going to hand you over to Henry to tell you a little bit more about what interests him in the plant world. Henry. Where's Henry? He's coming. There he is. I can see him coming. Can we unmute Henry?
Right, done. Well, yes, it was a slight embarrassment to find out that two of the people who I demonstrated to in the past, and who can probably only remember me by clog dancing in the lifts in the Ridley building, were invited me to join you in this absolutely wonderful challenge, which I watched last year and sadly did not get as many questions right as I hoped I should have done. Anyway, just a minute or two about me, seeing as I've been asked to do this. I actually started off as a marine biologist because I was enthusiastic about pond life as a kid. You know, there's nothing better than messing around in mud, is there really? But I spent a year in the Drakensberg doing VSO and discovered there were alternative things to fish that sort of interested me. And when I went to Bangor University, I discovered again that the university had probably the best botany department in the world at the time, with Richards, Greg Smith and Harper as their main professors, with two other professors as well. And I particularly got interested in plant morphology to start off with. One of our lecturers ended up his practical by telling, which was on branching patterns in herbs and bushes, to go to the window and look at the trees. And suddenly things became really interesting. So I realized that plants could answer questions that I was just starting to become interested in. They were visually complex. I had a design background from my parents, so I was interested in the visual stuff. And eventually I get on to computer modeling of branching patterns. And one of the things that came from this was that plants investigating the soil, the interface between the soil and the air, they were solving problems of transport. And that led me straight on to demonstrating to the local design and architecture department with town planners as well. Then I guess after doing research into evolutionary plant population biology, I disappear into ecological surveys around the world. And this is one piece of advice I would give to everybody. If somebody says they're going to the Himalayas, ask them to take you with them, because it's just the most wonderful thing you can possibly do. Explore everything you can. Never say no to going on an expedition. You can find out more about habitats that you never knew existed. And you learn to meet people in these habitats. And to be honest, that's the most important thing that I've learned over the last few years. People live in an environment, and it's the habitat that we need to save. People are attracted by furry and feathered animals, and that's what gets the money. But really, you need to save the habitat. Save the habitat, you can save everything else. And of course, people live in that habitat. And the real thing for the future, I feel, is getting humanity to live with the habitat that it's got, to improve it, to make things better. And I think the only way you can do that is by hitting politicians in their pockets. It will happen sometime, but the sooner we can do it, the better. So basically, it's ecology and morphology, two things that really inspired me to carry on doing biology. And with that, I'll leave you with our next chair.
Hello, everybody. It is a real pleasure to be doing this. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, so basically, I have loved plants my entire life. I started out as 4, 5, 6-year-olds being thrilled at going in search of little baby insects and birds and anything that moved, but swiftly having become obsessed with animals, I used to get so frustrated all the time that anything I wanted to look at would just run away from me or fly away from me. And of course, the plants couldn't do that. So I was left with these wonderful things at my feet, which I started to pay attention to. And now, 25 years later, I'm spending my entire life trying to convince as many people as possible that our wild plants are completely amazing and absolutely worth all our time and attention. And so to be here today and see 25 teams from around Britain and Ireland, made up of students, no less, is really, really encouraging. It's deeply encouraging and reassuring to know that there are lots of other people who like plants and who are sort of speaking up for plants. And I feel like slowly people are starting to take notice of plants. It's taking a while, but every single one of you, playing this really, really important part in doing that. And, you are plants' voices. Plants can't speak for themselves. They can't, write to their MP. They can't go on protests or talk to their councillors or tell anyone about the peril and the dangers that they're in. But we can do that for them. And so they need us. They need us so much. And so be proud that you're standing up for them. Even, being here today and taking part in this event is all part of that. Thank you. It's very much not my place to thank everyone, but thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for fighting for them and speaking up for them. It's very encouraging to see other people doing that. And yeah, I hope today really just encourages you further and motivates you and inspires you, whether or not you go through to the next round. And just to spend that time engaging with this nationwide community of botanists, which is really, really special. Certainly something that I'm very excited about. And so now I have the honor of kicking things off. So I think without further ado, we'll go on to our first question. So round one of Botanical University Challenge 2023. And the first question here is, identify this species of plant. Question 2. Which plant species has this distribution in Britain and Ireland? Question 3. Which of the following yellow asteraceae regularly produce asexual seeds? Question 4. After which Greek goddess is the scientific name of bog rosemary derived? Question 5. The inflorescence of which plant family is illustrated here? Question 6. Which member of the Apiaceae is illustrated here? Question 7. Azolla has become an invasive plant in Britain and Ireland. What group of plants is Azolla a member of? Question 8. Identify this species of grass. Question 9. Which one of the following is not a British or Irish endemic plant? And question 10. Britain's tallest native tree is 44 meters tall and grows on the Devil's Dyke estate in West Sussex. But what species is it? All right. Well, so now we have a short pause where you get to listen to me chatting away to you while they sort out the next bit of the results. So yeah, I hope you all feel like you've made a strong start. I learned my botany here in Britain and Ireland, so that was definitely a round that I would have enjoyed. Although I absolutely did not know all the answers to the questions. I had no idea that Britain's tallest tree is 44 meters tall. I also have no idea what species it is, so I hope you have a better idea than I do. But I must go and see it. 44 meters is so tall. I went to California a few years ago, or some time ago now, to see the tallest trees in the world, the coastal redwoods, and they just completely blew me away. I actually ended up, so I was with a group of fellow environmental scientists, meant to be giving a little talk about these trees, but actually was so overwhelmed that I just completely broke down into tears and spent about 20 minutes sobbing while everyone waited for me to pull myself together enough to tell everyone about the trees. So yeah, I'm a big fan of tall trees, so I'm gonna have to go and find that one in East Sussex. I have actually been to Devil's Dyke before. Did not see any tall trees there. Cool. I think potentially we're ready for the answers. Cool. Let's go ahead and go through the answers of round 1. So question 1 was identify the species of plant, and 29% of you got that one correct. That's burnet rose, Rosa spinosissima. A lovely little plant which grows in sort of limestone pavements and sand dunes and things. Yeah, and has these beautiful black rose hips. Question 2, which plant species has this distribution in Britain and Ireland? 68% of you this time got Danish scurvy grass, Cochlearia danica. This is actually amazing. If you look closely, particularly down, say, in the southwest, the northwest, you can see that that's actually following the roads. Danish scurvy grass is a coastal plant that has just taken advantage of the salts that spread along main roads, and it's just insane that you can look at a distribution map and actually track those main roads around the country. That's amazing. Question 3, which of the following yellow Asteraceae regularly produce asexual seeds? The hawkweeds, hieraceums. Well, I personally, maybe one day I will try and identify different species of hieraceum. Beyond me at the moment, but they're a fantastic group of plants. Question 4, after which Greek goddess is the scientific name of bog rosemary derived? Andromeda, 28%. Would not have got that. I did quite like Asta la Vista as option E though. Question 5, the inflorescence of which plant family is illustrated here? 92% of you got Apiaceae, very good. Strong solid score there with its umbel. Question 6, which member of the Apiaceae is illustrated here? Astrantia major. I think I'm saying that right. 38% of you got that one. Question 7, Azolla. It's an invasive species. 60% guessed ferns. Nice. I was 50%. I was like, is it a fern? Is it a flowering plant? Might be a trick question. But yeah, it's a fern. 60%. Nice. This species of grass, wood melic, my personal favorite species. Well, I also say that about quaking grass, but I think when it comes down to it, wood melic would win it for me for the grasses. Really, really beautiful. Question 9, which one of the following is not a British or Irish endemic plant? Oxford ragwort, 48%. I personally guessed Welsh groundsel for that, so I actually don't think I did very well that round, even though that's my interest in botany. Yeah, and the last one, this huge tree, 44 meters tall, is a beech tree, and only 8% of you got that. Congratulations. I really, really, really want to go and see that. Well, that was a big success, I think. Lots of right answers. Hopefully you will all feel pretty happy with your round one performance. What do you think, Jonathan?
I think some will, some won't. It's very interesting. It seems there is some splitting out going, but it's the first round. It's very early stages.
Would Manchester Met like to make an appearance and share?
Yeah, they're here.
Um,
Unmute. How was that round for you? We can't hear you.
Oh yeah,
Do you need...
fine. Apart from the oak.
Yeah.
very good.
Okay.
The not oak.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, good round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's it's proper
Can I-
botany. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just ask you? We've had a few comments saying that the audience would quite like the answers to be read out swiftly. Not the right answer, but the 5 options. We decided not to do that on the basis of student comments. What do you think?
It was much. We were just saying it was much easier to prefer with having some quiet time after the question was read.
Yeah.
You prefer the quiet time?
Yes, because we're all separate in different places all over the country. So we have to confer online. And if somebody's speaking for the 30 seconds, then it's very difficult to confer.
Okay. Well, we'll ask the audience to put in the chat on the YouTube if you have any thoughts about that. But I think on the basis of that, we should stick with as is for the next round at least. Thank you.
Thank you.
At the moment, we have Manchester Met in the lead, followed by Cambridge and then the Eden Project. That's our current top 3, which is excellent.
Round of applause. Are we going to be able to view the leaderboard at some stage? Lovely. So that will come up in due course. Are we going to move to the next round before that, or... Okay, we're now going to move on to round 2. Henry, take it away, and don't flap that sheet of paper around too much. Although I know it doesn't have the answers. Can you unmute? Okay. Yeah. Okay, Henry. Yes, it's good to see you again. Thank you for that lovely intro. We're waiting for a couple of teams to get in. We need everybody in before we start, so we'll let you know when we're ready to head off.
Well, okay, we had a good start in the first round. Let's see how we progress in the second round. And I didn't get all the questions right. World plants. Question 1. Where in the world is the poinsettia, Euphorbia pulcherrima, native? Right, moving on. Question 2. Which one of these plant families has this global distribution? Question 3. Tillandsia asnioides, Spanish moss, is a member of which plant family? And question 4. This giant hawk moth was discovered in 1882. However, its existence was predicted 20 years earlier by Charles Darwin after looking at the Star of Bethlehem orchid, Anagraecum sesquipedale. But where in the world is it found? And question 5. Which of the following is not a member of the Zingiberaceae family? Question 6. Question 6. Between which two places did Captain Bligh attempt to transport breadfruit in HMS Bounty? Question 7. Where in the world is giant hogweed, Heracleum mantegatzianum, native? Question 8. Monstera deliciosa, the Swiss cheese plant, is a member of which plant family? Question 9. Where in the world is this coin issued? And question 10, the city of Iquitos in the upper Amazon became incredibly rich during the late 1800s because of which one of these plants? Right. Well done. A good world trip of botany. We'll have to see how your knowledge of world plants, that it matches up to your botanical knowledge of local plants. I suspect it might do. And some of these were extremely interesting. There's one in particular, which we will come to, which I found fascinating and quite a story for the British Empire and the consequences of empirical activities. And I've not been to any of the countries except one of them. One of the countries, that's the only one that I've actually visited that were involved in these. So the results are coming up. And question 1, where in the world is poinsettia native? It is Central America and Mexico. And it's interesting plant because it was cultivated by the Aztecs as well as the Spaniards, and then introduced into America by the first minister, the first ambassador effectively to Mexico, who was a guy by the name of Poinsett. It was actually used by the Aztecs for growing cochineal, the red dye. Question 2, and the answer, which of the plants has this global distribution, was Zingiberaceae, no, Musaceae. But most of you thought Zingiberaceae, and it was in fact Musaceae, the banana family. Zingiberaceae are tropical Africa, Asia, and America. And the next one, Tillandsia usnioides, is a member of the Bromeaceae, air plants, which are largely, but not entirely, restricted to trees. This is one of my favorite questions. It's native, the moth and the orchid obviously are native to Madagascar. I'm glad that most of you got that one right. It was extraordinary, and it wasn't, not only did Darwin wonder what could possibly pollinate it, but Wallace actually predicted which sort of hawk moth it was going to be. He published a letter about 3 or 4 years later, after Darwin had decided that this was the pollinator. Which one of the following is not a member of the Zingiberaceae? And it is, of course, for those who cook, it is cumin, which is a Apiaceae, an umbellifer, one that I use all the time in cheesy scrambled eggs, along with a little bit of chili. One of my favorite spices. Lightly roasted brings all the flavor out. And the next one. This is an extraordinary event, basically. The answer was Tahiti and the Caribbean, which 26 of you got 26% got right. So it was equally split between Papua New Guinea and Fiji and Kew Gardens. But Bligh, of course, was thrown off his ship, and after an extraordinary sailing or extraordinary display of navigational technique, gets home, and 2 years later goes on an expedition with 2 ships and retraces the steps and imports the breadfruit into the Caribbean from Tahiti. And recent genetic work has done quite a lot to realize that he brought 5 of the 8 lineages of breadfruit into the Caribbean. An amazing man. Where in the world does hogweed, giant hogweed, come from? And it is, of course, the Caucasus. Some people don't like it. I'm rather attracted to giant hogweed. It forms nice sculptural stands in certain areas, which are really spectacular. The nice thing about it is actually one of its relatives that was planted, used by the Russians for herbage, silage, and became desperately invasive and was eventually known as Stalin's revenge. And the next one, Monstra deliciosa, a member of the Aeraceae. Most of you got this one right. The interesting thing about the Aeraceae, of course, is their flower and pollination mechanism. Spikes of male plants above female, the female plants on the same spike, separated by hairs, which allow the fly downwards, but not back upwards out of the flower head until it is pollinated, whereupon the hairs shrivel and allowing the fly out. And the next one, perhaps. This for South Africa. Most of you obviously recognize the protea, and actually on the flower, it's the king protea. And I've often wondered, seeing as South Africa does have a climate that is not that far removed from ours, why proteas do not grow in East Anglia, or at least in Britain, but they don't seem to be at all capable of withstanding our climate. And the final question, Iquitos. This is rubber, and some of you got coca, but not the right one. It was rubber. And this is one of the extraordinary stories of, I believe, Kew Gardens. Leif might know a bit more about this than I do, but Iquitos was the center of the Anglo-Peruvian rubber company. And it expanded from 1850, it had about 500 people. And by 1890, it had nearly 20,000 people. And a guy called Henry Wickham collected 70,000 seeds of rubber plants in the 1870s, 1880s, calling them dead plant material. They were supposed to be herbarium specimens, but he brought them back via Kew to British East Asia, which started the rubber industry in Malaysia. And the Brazilians were not best pleased. And I believe Kew has difficult relations with Brazil as a consequence, even 120 years later. Perhaps Leif can enlighten me on that. I'm not sure if it's still true or not. Anyway, jolly well done. I think that's an excellent result from most of you. Some of them were a bit more challenging than others. Leif, do you have any answers? Sorry.
The rubber story does have a long legacy in that almost the rest of the world share germplasm. So I used to work in the World Chocolate Gene Bank, and all the other tropical American countries share their germplasm. but Brazil don't. They don't make their germplasm available. So pineapples, cocoa, lots of sort of important commercial species have got germplasm in Brazil, but to this day they keep hold of it and don't share it with the rest of the world. And that's the legacy of the Brits stealing it.
Yep. And we also stole tea from China in an even more extraordinary story, but I guess that was earlier, and I guess the Chinese didn't quite regard Britain in the same way then. But yes, a major bio theft, and it's a great shame that it has such lengthy consequences.
Absolutely, yeah. The
And
world
Quito
map.
still doesn't have a road in. It's one of the places that it's not connected to the rest of Brazil by road.
That's right,
so
but
you still have to go via the river.
yeah,
Or-
but
or
Iquitos is in Peru, isn't it? Iquitos, Peru.
Yeah,
But
Rio
it
Grande.
still doesn't. You still have to fly in or
Mhm.
go by river.
And they
I guess
moved entire
flying-
opera houses from Europe, stone at a time, and rebuilt them with a well.
And they did make the film Fitzcarraldo, which was apparently, I have yet to see the film, but I've been told I must do it, which was the most extraordinary film by Herzog, who I think lost a couple of people in the making of it and threw various ships into rivers and actually had to build them and destroy the ships. So I must go and see the film.
I think we're just updating because we've got one or two teams have slightly miswritten their names, so we'll be with you soon.
Right.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, who got all 10 points?
MMU.
Manchester University got all. Manchester apparently got all 10 points, which I have to say is extremely impressive. Yeah, that was quite a tough one on that. So that's really well done.
I'll just clarify that was Manchester Met that got all 10.
Oh,
and we have two.
Manchester
two
Met
Manchester
got all 10.
teams.
Right.
Well done. Anyway, well done all.
Right, on to round 3. So I got 0 on the last one, so I'm hoping for a bit better on this one. So question 1, welcome. Sorry, that's not the question 1. Here we go. Question 1. In which one of the following structures of the chloroplast do the light reactions occur? Question 2. During photosynthesis, where does the evolved oxygen come from? Question 3. Where in a chloroplast do the light-independent or dark reactions of photosynthesis take place? Question 4. Which enzyme is considered to be the most abundant on the planet Earth? Question 5. Where are the vascular bundles of the dicot stem located? Question 6. What is the osmotic potential of pure water in megapascals, MPa? Question 7. Approximately how many species of aphid can be found in the UK? Question 8. Which of the following is a collective term for small molecules from pests and diseases that are detected by plants and thus trigger the immune system? Question 9. Which type of plant hormone or growth regulator promotes leaf senescence? And question 10, how many different genomes are present in each green plant cell? Whoa. Well, that was a serious throwback for me. I have very much just been reminded how much of my A-level and GCSE biology that I've completely forgotten. I wouldn't like to see the looks on my teachers' faces. I reckon One of them, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. The rest, I was like, oh, I recognize all these words. Can't remember how to pronounce them, but I got as far as
Yeah.
recognizing the words. Nice to see a little question about animals there in Botanical University Challenge as well.
Absolutely. Animals.
So we'd also like to remind the audience that Q now has a Brazilian director, Alexandre Antonelli, and has a very good relationship with universities across the UK. I was there, must have been about, I left 2 years ago or so. I had a wonderful time working at Q for 4 years. Cool. Yeah, so hopefully you felt you did all right in that round. Hopefully better than I would have done. Sorry, Director of Science of Q was Brazilian. We currently have Manchester Metropolitan University leading with 19 points. And in second place, Cambridge with 16 points. It's pretty impressive. And in third place, we have the Eden Project Learning Team. But in a moment, we'll have a full scoreboard for you to see what the top 8 are, I hope. Yes, first, we're just going to head through round 3 answers. So here we go. Question 1. In which of these structures of the chloroplast do the light reactions occur? The answer was the thylakoid membrane. Rings so many bells. Very good. Pretty much all of you got that, which is great. Question 2. During photosynthesis, where does that oxygen come from? From water. Nice again. Good to see everyone remembering their GCSE biology. Much better than me. Question 3. Where in the chloroplast do those dark reactions take place? The stroma. And again, 80%. Very good. This is really, really good. Question 4. Which enzyme is considered to be the most abundant on planet Earth? This was the one I thought I knew. Yes. Also went for Rubisco. Very nice. Isn't it amazing that you've just got this one enzyme which is just all over the planet? Absolutely brilliant. Incredible. It's so important. Question 5. Where are the vascular bundles of the dicot stem located? In a ring near the outer edge. Again, most people getting this. Really, really good. Question 6. What is the osmotic potential of pure water in megapascals? I think that's megapascals. I apologize if I got that wrong. 0. 52% got 0. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I don't really know what megapascals are, but I'm glad that you all know that. Question 7. Approximately how many species of aphids can be found in the UK? A little curveball question. Aphids are very important for plants, of course. More than 500. More than 500. That's extraordinary. That is amazing. I love little aphids and springtails and little insects like that. They're amazing to watch up close. Only 16% of you got that. Not surprised. That was a huge surprise to me. More than 500 species. Question 8. Which of the following is a collective term for small molecules from pests and diseases that are detected by plants and thus trigger the immune system? PAMPs. PAMPs. Not ramps, boots, narcs, or pings. PAMPs. I cannot remember what that stands for, I'm afraid. Question 9. Which type of plant hormone or growth regulator promotes leaf senescence? It's abscisic acid. Oh, yeah. I do remember that now. Yeah, cool. Abscisic acid. Again, most of you got that. And question 10, how many different genomes are present in each green plant cell? And the answer is 3, 84%. Nice. Like, everyone did really, really well in that round. I think most questions, it was sort of 70, 80, 90% got the correct answer. Yeah, I was pretty impressed. It's pretty good. I bet you're glad that I'm not on your team.
Or me. No, I'm really impressed with those answers and the level of correct answers for those, because it's way out of my memory banks as a field botanist.
Yeah, you can at least be inspired that you can still be some kind of botanist, even if you forget everything you've been taught at school.
Yeah, should we quote that? Maybe we won't quote that as one of the tenets of Botanical University.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter if you don't know much. Of course it does. You need to know loads, but not. Yeah, and well done and well revised or known, whatever you did, teams. Brilliant.
So if you're watching online, you can click the link at the top of that's pinned to the top of the YouTube chat to view our leaderboard. And we're all very excited to find out who's winning, who's in that top 8.
I'm on the edge of my chair here because I don't know. I'm in the control room, but I don't know. So I've only heard a few mutterings. So this is halfway point. This is the end of round 3. So we're going to get a fully updated score sheets very soon, as I understand. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Invite a team on. Let's invite a team on. Let's go for one of our brand new Irish teams. Why not University College Dublin. Let's have you on. Hello, heavy petal. I mean, what's not to love about the heavy petal? How are you doing? How are you? How did you find that last round? You can unmute. Or you can be unmuted by somebody here. Maybe the technicals have to. So yeah, you can just carry on.
Okay, we got it here. The round is fine. Really brought us back to 4 years ago, trying to remember all of these things. Yeah. A lot of tensions.
Yeah.
And what do you reckon you got in that round then, out of 10?
I think we got 8.
Oh, brilliant.
That's pretty impressive.
And what about your UK flora and your world flora?
We didn't do as amazing as we thought we would.
Yeah.
But I think with our limited knowledge, we did pretty okay. Not what we wanted, but
okay. I think I'm going to bring in your down the road team now. Let's have Trinity Dublin on now. Why not? I think on Twitter, I think we mixed you two up at one point, and we got very, very politely told that we're friends, but we're different. So yeah, thanks. And let's see Trinity Dublin. Sorry, this is really short notice. We're supposed to have warned you about this. Lovely. Trinity Spiritophytes, how are you doing? You're in and out. It's one of those awful backgrounds. You just keep.
Hello.
Hiya. How's it going?
Yeah, good. I think we did pretty decently in that round as well.
Yeah, real flashback to doing all that physiology stuff years ago.
Fantastic. That's great. What about your world flora?
I think we did okay. We were happy enough with it. Some of the tropical stuff we didn't know quite as well, but we were happy with that one.
It's all right. I've just been told I'm echoing around the room.
which is just too horrific to think about. Yeah, Galway. Yeah, it would be rude not to bring in our third Irish team, wouldn't it? Hi. And how was the photosynthesis for you?
Good, not too bad now. I think we did well enough in it. I was thinking back to we did I did photosynthesis in first year, so I was trying to first year undergrad 5 years ago now, 4 or 5 years ago. I got them right in the wrong answers. I mixed them up.
Yeah, well, we probably thought that might happen a bit, but that's brilliant. I'm on the edge of my seat here for this scoreboard. How about you?
Yeah, as long as we beat those lot up in Dublin, we're happy.
Is that friendly rivalry, or is that fierce, just unadulterated, we're fighting?
It's totally fierce.
Excellent. Okay. Leif, do you want to announce?
We are going to cut to a break, which I believe is 15 minutes long. Is that correct? And then after that, we should have a nice updated scoreboard for you, which is very exciting. We're all desperate to see it. But
yeah, this is not totally after the break. Strictly Come Dancing holding off. It's just that we have got to make sure we've got the scoreboard right for everybody. So that was fantastic. Thanks for those rounds. Thanks, Leif and Henry, and we'll see you all in 15. Get a cup of tea. Into our plans. So if I could ask Cambridge and Manchester Met to come on just briefly. They are at the top of the leaderboard here, but you can see they're not that far ahead of some of the others. But just a quick, how is it for you? MMU, so you're still at the top. And Cambridge, you're also at the top. It looks like you're right at the top, but actually, of course, you just begin with C and they begin with M. But tell us how you're feeling. Yes, I'll stop sharing my screen. Yeah, I'm just going to stop sharing my screen because we're having a technical issue of hearing the teams.
Okay.
Sort it out.
There we go.
If any of you have ever done meetings like this, which are live, you know it's quite a sweaty business. And I'm just in awe of my tech team here because there's so much that they're doing. And I'll probably get them right at the end to give you just a very quick thumbnail sketch of all the different bits they have. But yeah, we're going to have a quick word with the top two, and then we're going to move into and have a chat with some of those right in the middle. And actually, I would just comment that it's a fantastic scoreboard, and there are a lot of new teams. So it is quite interesting that the teams at the top of the scoreboard, many of them have played before Botanical University Challenge, and that's not to decry anything, but you can obviously, once you've played it, you kind of know the way it works a bit. So I would encourage those teams that maybe haven't done as well as they hoped to come back again next year. Maybe you'll zoom up the leaderboard in the next round. But yeah, do be proud of what you're here. And shortly, hopefully, my tech team will tell me that I'm ready to talk to some of the team. Yep. They're already here listening to me. So we've got MMU and we've got Cambridge. Top place, is it 20 points? I'm not sure. Yeah. 24 points. Deep apologies. Just tell us briefly how you're feeling. MMU first.
It was all going very well until the last round.
Yeah, we're surprised.
Well, great. Be happily surprised. Cambridge, welcome back.
We're related, Jonathan. Thanks for having us.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you here. So I'm going to, because you're at the top and that's all lovely and happy and smiley, I'm going to move down to the lower down. But thanks a lot. See you soon. Can I share my screen again now? Just want to share the leaderboards. So yeah, so moving down, yes, 24 points Cambridge, Manchester met, but we've got Nottingham 20, Kew 20, Warwick 20. Apologies for the slight typos here, but it's quite a job putting this lot together. Then we've got Eden, UEA, Bristol, and Oxford all on 19, and then Durham 18, and newcomers Portsmouth on 18. And just to go back to the Irish teams, we've got University College Dublin at 17 and Trinity at 16. So there's a little bit of work to be done there. But let me bring on Eden and UEA to start with. And just to say that Eden's a team they've played before. UEA is a new team for this year. So fantastic. Thank you. Yes. Okay, we can see you all now. Okay, and I'm seeing mascots. So okay, I can see the mascot of UEA. So let's have you speaking. Oh, we got mascots for both. UEA, you're new to Botanical University Challenge. So how's it going?
It's going better than we thought it might. The first couple of rounds were a bit tricky. We quite enjoyed the last one though. That sort of played more to our strengths because we're largely plant scientists.
Okay. So yeah, so we might not see you in this position again then. But no,
I wouldn't go that far.
That was so mean, wasn't it? I'm surprised. I often say I'm surprised I'm still allowed to work. But no, I don't mean that. I mean it caringly. But well done on that last that last round, and good luck for the next 3 rounds, because you are in the position of potential tiebreak. That's the point. And as is Eden. Eden, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So yeah, same situation for you. You've played a few times before, but it's lovely to see you here. Tell us a little bit about how it's going.
Yeah, we think it's going pretty good. A solid showing, I think. Last year we were all first years, so having now finished first year and some of us are halfway through second year, we actually feel like we know something, which helps. But yeah, no, we're really chuffed, and I think our team's brilliant. So
it is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I think we've got a good spread of like talents in our team. So I think that's quite a lot.
I think that's a key thing. And to be fair to you, Eden, I think you were quite close to the tiebreak position last year. If I remember, I had a look at the scoreboard recently. I think you were just pipped. But anyway, yeah, fabulous.
We were scrapping right there in the middle, and we're putting up a good fight again this year. And
certainly are.
That's kind of all we can hope for at this point. Like the rest is not in our hands.
Exactly.
I think we're just really proud of what we're doing so far.
And as all teams should be, and I absolutely agree there. It's absolutely fantastic. And from my point of view, I'm kind of powerless here. I'm not a techie. I've kind of just messed up a bit, but I'm just sitting here in awe. And I have at last seen the scoreboard. So thanks a lot, you two teams. And I'm going to bring on now Oxford and Portsmouth. Yeah, am I right? Let me have a look. Oh, sorry, no. I beg your pardon, but if that's happened, that's fine. I'm going for Oxford and Bristol, and then we'll do Portsmouth and Durham after that, and then we'll get on. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So it's great. There's a kind of a theme going on here because we've got Bristol, new team.
Yeah.
Bristol Pistols, great name. Beautiful slide, may I say, background. And then we've got the Bad Birches, who are showing that is not a bad name for them. Oxford, who are a returning team, they played before. So it's absolutely fantastic to see we've got this vying of. But tell us a bit. I'll stop talking. Let's start with the newbies, Bristol. Tell us how you're finding it.
Yeah, we found the first round a bit more challenging, but I think we've done okay since then. So yeah.
Something is going on. Thank you. And Oxford?
Yes, it seems to be going all right. We're enjoying it. Like I say, we're back, new team. So we're also missing one of our star players. So we're trying to do the best we can without him.
Well, you've certainly done a good job. I can see Henry here. Henry, do you want to say anything at this stage? We're halfway through.
I'm extremely impressed. And actually, I'm slightly depressed at how much I've forgotten. It's some of these things I can remember, some of them I really can't. But the one thing I have really enjoyed is actually the homework for it. I hate to be personal about this, but it's kind of reinvigorated my enthusiasm for the old bits of botany that I haven't done for 40 years, like plant anatomy and bits of morphology that I've forgotten about.
Absolutely.
And the other thing is, it's really nice to see how many people are actually getting the questions right. Some of these I would not have done at all. So jolly well done for most of you.
Fantastic, thanks. I think I would, at the risk of going on a bit, I would like to bring on a couple more teams. So thank you very much. I'd like to bring on Portsmouth and Durham. And that's my last two teams. Portsmouth and Durham. Hello. I'm doing a bit of making it up as I go along here, so the tech team are having to catch up with me. But the reason I brought you two teams on, Portsmouth and Durham, is because you are just below the current tiebreak position. And also, we've got Portsmouth, new team, and Durham have played before. So Portsmouth, I can see you there. Tell me, how is it for you?
It's been okay. The first round was difficult, but we did really well on the last round.
Okay, we can only say good luck for the rest. But yeah, it's great. It's great to see.
Thank you.
It's great to see his first-time teams. And actually, if my memory serves me correctly, and it doesn't these days because of my age, you were quite late to the party. So we're absolutely delighted to see you here. Do we have Durham? Just to finish off, thanks, Portsmouth. Durham's in the same situation, close to the tie-break situation. I think if we haven't got Durham,
he says they can't unmute. It needs the host to unmute.
Oh, okay. I think having brought.
Hello.
It would be mean. It would be mean not to get you to.
Hello. Our video's been stopped by the host as well.
Oh dear, these hosts. But we can hear you. So hello, Durham.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you're back. Yeah, we can see you. You're in your big chamber.
Yeah.
Delightful. Tell us how it's going. I love your name, by the way, even though I can't pronounce it.
Thanks. We've had some answers, a few lucky guesses, quite a lot of wrong answers so far. But yeah, we're going through. Yeah.
Having a good time. So.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's music to my ears. Having a good time, because that's exactly what we get from these plants, I find, in all kinds of ways, and this is just showing it more and more. There's 3 more rounds to go, so yeah, if you can stack up the right answers above the wrong answers, you could be in the tiebreak or even above position. So all the very best to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we are going to move on with round 4, and round 4. On my sheet of paper here is taken by Henry. So, just a shout out to the audience. Lovely to know you're there. I'm not actually seeing you as such. Do put comments in the chat. Do play. Lovely. We've got 142 in the audience, which is super. And
that's really good.
It isn't bad, is it? Do play along. And of course, we will be saving the recording of this. I think we'll probably try and edit out the little flibbity gibbet that I managed to do earlier. But we'll have a video of this, and so you'll be able to tell your friends as well to have a look and play along. So yeah, Henry, welcome back. I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Hannah in the tech team to move into round 4.
Right. Here we go for round 4. I hope everybody is ready. An ecology round, something for which I should, of course, I hope you'll all get good answers on, as ecology is such an important topic at the moment. We need to live with the environment rather than force our way through it. Okay. In which one of these areas is temperate rainforest found? Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Question 2, what is a turlo? I think we can move on now if we've all done. Okay. Right. Question 3. Which one of these is a defining species of the EU Natura 2000 Annex 1 habitat, lowlands hay meadows? 6510. Okay, and the next one. Which of these features is characteristic of seagrasses, the Zostera species? Right, and the next one. Question 5, what is horticology the study of? And question 6, which medicinal drug was first extracted from plants in the genus Cinchona? Right, if we can go. And question 7, in ecology, what is alpha diversity? And question 8, what is the characteristic type of plant in the taiga forest plant community or boreal forest plant community? And question 9, what kind of vegetation would you find typically growing on a brown earth soil in Western Europe? And finally, question 10, in the Ellenberg indicator value scale, what characteristic is measured by F? Right, a wide range of questions covering a number of different ecological topics, some of which are relatively easy, some were definitely not. And of course, ecology was what got me going round the world. Ecological surveys are a wonderful way of seeing new environments and opportunity and taking advantage of opportunities. Get the chance to go abroad. I always tell people this, go abroad whenever you can and explore new environments. Sadly, of course, most of the new environments that I explored were all desert oriented, which is fine if you like hot climates. I think the worst one that I've ever been to was actually Djibouti. And I did quite a lot of work in Djibouti, and the climate there is completely vile. But you do get used to it in the end. Right, it looks like the answers are about to come up. So which one of these is temperate rainforest found? And everybody, almost everybody, got the British Isles right. Yes, that's a fairly easy one. Temperate rainforest also occurs in Pacific Northwest and Japan and Norway and Chile and New Zealand as well. And question 2. What is a turlough? I ought to have known this, but in fact I didn't. It's a seasonal large lake in limestone areas, karst areas, and it's typical of Western Ireland. And I know Galway and Clare reasonably well, but did not know the name for this. I guess the Irish people did really well on this, so that was a question for them. Only the larger ones are permanent, and they have a often have a filamentous green algae mat that dries like paper, which I thought was rather odd. And the next question. Yeah. Elopicurus sanguisorba, Elopicurus pratensis. It's the Elopicurus sanguisorba community. It's wildflower rich with campanula and centaurea. And one of the characteristics is that you cut it only after the first, after the grasses have flowered, and you only cut it once, maybe twice. And the next question. Seagrass. It grows in seawater. This is I say it's a trick question. There is a trick question hidden inside this. One of the seagrasses has been discovered to grow maybe 15 kilometers across in a single plant, which means that it's hundreds of thousands of years old. So the oldest thing on the planet is not a bristlecone pine. It's almost certainly a seagrass, Posidonia. And the next question, next set of results. Horticology. Horticology. Now that's interesting. Population dynamics. Most of you got that, but it's really well split between some of the other ones. And this is interesting because I was always taught that horticology explained distribution and abundance by investigating the response to biotic and non-biotic factors. It explains the realized niche as opposed to the fundamental niche. Interesting. Okay. And the next question, question 6, if you could show the results. Which medicinal drug, and it is, of course, quinine, important in the late 19th century because it was the only drug they had that combated malaria. And the white people who were part of various empires survived because of quinine. And the next question, please. What is alpha diversity? It's mean species diversity local scale. There are various measures of this, but the most important one, what mean species diversity on a local scale, as opposed to beta, which is between samples, and gamma, which is on a much more global scale. And the next question, please. What is the characteristic type of plant in the taiga? And it is, of course, coniferous trees. This is the world's largest forest biomass. First, but it's interesting in that it's also the youngest. It's only about 12,000 years old, as it replaced the retreating ice sheets and the mammoth steppes. The final, no, question 9. What kind of vegetation would you find in brown earths, which is, of course, deciduous forests? Red earth, if you live in Devon, of course. Temperate, well-drained, humus-rich, and generally acid. The next question, please. What are the Ellenbergs? And F is moisture. These are used throughout Europe as defining the areas within which plants can grow. And they sometimes give really useful results on plant distributions if you're interested in global distributions. Right, I think that's it. How have we done? Generally, I was rather impressed by the numbers of correct answers. I found myself struggling with a couple of those. So jolly well done to all of you. Cambridge, yep, Cambridge are leading with what, 32 points. Manchester Met close behind with 31, and Molecule and the Warwick Willows with 27 each. So that's a jolly good score for those four. And do we have people close on tie break? Have they separated yet? We'll see in a minute whether we have any closer results, but that's between Cambridge and Manchester Met. So a close run thing there for top place. Yep. Right. The horticulture is the interesting one because I guess I am an horticulturist. I was always interested in why a plant is here in these numbers, in this place, at this time. And what controlled it? Was it the abiotic environment, or the temperature, or was it the relationship with other plants? And of course, the combination of the two. But this is it's the numbers that really interest me. Why is a plant rare? Why is a plant common? What can we do to ameliorate rarity or commonness in some of these plants? And that was really what drove the early part of my research, and what I would have loved to have carried on doing had computing not taken over. Jonathan, anything to say? I could carry on.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always got something to say, as everyone who knows me. But I think probably we should bring on some teams, because I should say, for the sake of our teams and our audience, that it's actually quite a job putting together the leaderboard. It's not just ping and there it is. And we of course have to check that it's right, because we don't want to give out the wrong information. So that's why there's a bit of a pause. And it's a bit different this year because we've got everybody in the tech room, which means we have to be careful with our IT where that we're not sort of interfering with each other. So we can't have maybe quite such a swift leaderboard as we did last year, but it's coming, and it sort of adds to the suspense. I think I've absolutely no idea what's going on, but I think it might be nice now to bring on a couple more of our teams. Should I just pick these at random, or do you have any suggestions? I've been told to pick at random. So I'm going to pick at random, and I'm going to bring on Exeter chrysanthemums. Hello, I love how this works quite quickly, actually. Lovely. And you're on. So yeah, how was that for you? How's it going?
It's going okay. It's going okay. Round 3 we thought was our best.
Round 3 was your best.
Not going great in total, but enjoying the questions and happy to be here.
Absolutely. And you've made up a beautiful name. I smiled when I saw that name first. I love that name, chrysanthemums. In fact, it reminds me, here's me going off again, but the very first Botanical University challenge in Kew, I slotted in a few music things because I like music, particularly classical music. And there was a question which was, Puccini wrote a piece of music, and it was about a particular plant. Type of very popular plant you get from the florist. So it could be roses. I don't know, what could it be? It could be chrysanthemums. It could be, I don't know, what else can you get from a florist? Some kind of lily. It was in fact chrysanthemums. So chrysanthemums is, there you go. And that's really a bit of trivial information. Anyway, it's good to see you, and good luck for we got 2 more rounds now. Are we ready to move on, or shall I bring another team on? Another team. Okay, so let's go with Southampton. You can tell how organized I am. But you know, hopefully that's the charm of it. Yeah, I'm bringing you on partly because of your name. Look at that, the dandelion, the witch, and the wardrobe. I didn't just smile when I saw that, when I laughed out loud. How's it going?
Yeah, no, it's going pretty chill. Yeah, we're not, excelling, but we're learning a lot, and that's really what's important. And we're having a good time.
But well, that's fantastic. Yeah, I was to say, your Southampton was in the very first Botanical University Challenge. You're back now. We're looking forward to seeing you again in the future. But we've got you with us. All the best for the next 2 rounds. I can Dave Henry here. Do you want to add anything at this stage? Thanks, Southampton.
It's 2023. I still haven't worked out how to use Zoom. Hopefully you can all hear me now. I'm just generally very impressed. I think what was it, up towards sort of 30, towards the top of the leaderboard there. It's incredibly impressive. As I've said multiple times, I keep getting lots of things wrong, so slightly glad that I'm not taking part. But yeah, it's good. I'd also like to say excellent questions. I'm not sure who came up with these questions, but I think it's a really good range of different parts of botany and all the different aspects you want to go into, and
thank you.
Specialize in and things. So,
thank you.
It's good.
Okay, I understand the scoreboard is updated and I should be able to access it. Is it coming in the chat? Yeah, so we're going to have a scoreboard, I think, and that's great. And then we're going to move on to round 5. And talking of questions, we have a team who sets the questions, but we also have 2 chairs, and some of their questions are coming in a while. So look forward to that. Right, let's see if I can find the score. Okay, shall I share it? So I'm going to share the scoreboard. This is all very exciting. Assuming that I'm up to this. Right, are we seeing this? So we've got Cambridge and Manchester Met and Kew and Warwick with a typo, Nottingham, Oxford, Durham, Eden in the top 8. A little split developing, but UEA and Portsmouth, Trinity, Dublin, Bristol, all new teams, very, very close there. And then moving down through our other lovely teams. But yeah, that's the situation that we have with our scoreboard. We're looking for the top 8, but we love you all. And we're looking forward to welcoming you all to the Botany Festival in Nottingham in July. So do keep 5-6 July free. And I think that's probably not a bad time now to move into round 5. And
Sounds like there's a technical problem and not all the scores are up to date. So if you're panicking and thinking that you're not up there, it could be just because your scores haven't been added yet.
Okay. We're going to double check. That's one of the reasons that we kind of have been a bit delayed on showing the scoreboard. So that is a scoreboard. I'm not sure if it's the absolutely spot on scoreboard. So I think it's probably a good time now just to take a nice deep breath, to stop sharing, and for Hannah to take us into round 5. And then we can check the scoreboard while that's going on. Thank you.
Cool. So here we go, round 5 on botanical terms. So test of this for you. So okay, so question 1, what does the term pruinose mean? Question 2. In which plant tissue would you find companion cells? Question 3. What is cauliflower? Question 4. Which of these is technically a berry? Question 5. What is the technical name for a mango, Mangifera indica fruit? Question 6. If movement within plants is described as acropetal, what does this imply? Question 7. What botanical term best describes the phenomenon illustrated here? Question 8. The natural insecticide pyrethrin is derived from which plants? Question 9. What is anthophobia, the fear of? Question 10. What is the collective name for the outer parts of a flower that do not have organs that produce gametes? Round 5 done. What on earth does this pruinose mean? I'm really hoping that it means shriveled like a prune, because that is very much my kind of botany. I'd also like to apologize if I get any of these pronunciations wrong, because I think there are at least 4 or 5 words in there that I have no idea how to pronounce properly. So if cauliflory is actually cauliflory or something, forgive me. And I really hope also that anthophobia is a fear of botanists, because that would be brilliant. And if it's not, then I'd love to know what a fear of botanists is. Although actually, I don't know if anyone is actually afraid of botanists. We're generally quite a friendly bunch of people. Although maybe sheep and deer, I've definitely scared away sheep and deer before for eating all the plants that I want to look at. So maybe sheep and deer can be anthrophobic, if that is the correct term, which we will find out shortly. So round 5 answers. Question 1, what does the term pruinose mean? I'm so excited. It was A, with a whitish bloom that is easily rubbed off. There we go. Sadly not shriveled like a prune, but 48% of you got that. Very good. Question 2, in which plant tissue would you find companion cells? In the phloem. Again, pretty good, 60%. Have you got that one? What is, I'm going to go with cauliflory. Flowers appear on the main plant stem or tree trunk. I'm learning so much. Brilliant, most of you got that. Question 4, which of these is technically a berry? It's the grape. 79% of you got that. Very good. What is the technical name for a mango fruit? That one was drupe. I'm always the person like round the table at the pub being like, well, actually, it's a drupe. And this is why. And everyone's like, oh, Lace the botanist is going off again. That's question 5. Question 6. If movement within plants is described as acropetal, this implies that a compound that moves within a it's a compound that moves within a plant from roots to leaves up the plant. 33%. More people thought that it was flower petals that rotate during the day following the sun, interestingly. But well done if you got that right. Question 7. What's the term that best describes the phenomenon illustrated here? Heterophyly. I am obsessed with water crowfoots. They are so cool. I don't know if you've ever seen them in rivers and things, but I just love it when you can see their surface leaves, those sort of round ones on the surface of the water, and then beneath the water you've got those ribbon-like streamers. And it's a really cool way, if you get a bridge that crosses a river, you can actually see where the flow of the river is going based on those leaves. Really cool. Question 8. The natural insecticide pyrethrin derived from Dalmatian pellitory chrysanthemum. I'm not even going to try and attempt to pronounce that. That has got way too many letters in it. But Dalmatian pellitory gives you pyrethrin. Question 9. What is anthophobia the fear of? It's flowers. It's flowers, and very good. 96% if you got that. Not botanists, but if anyone does know the term for botanists, I would love to know. Question 10. What's the collective name for the outer parts of a flower that do not have organs that produce gametes? The answer to that one is the perianth. And again, so you got that. Nice. Very good, very good. Yeah, I really want to know what the term for people who are afraid of botanists is. That'd be brilliant to know.
I had a look and I couldn't find a word that was for fear of botanists. I was determined. I had a good search. Nothing came up.
Well,
We'll
maybe
have
that's
to-
a good thing. Maybe it's good that we are
Isn't the
so
answer
friendly.
zoologist?
Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
Fantastic. So we are really progressing. My team here are looking at the results. One of the things that struck me is we got to think that these teams are working under pressure. And I was trying to think, heavens, what's that? And I just went all sweaty. So yeah, you're doing really well because it's although I major that this is a fun, friendly quiz. If you're doing a quiz and there's 25 of you competing, yeah, it's fun and friendly, but so fabulous. Shall I bring on a couple more teams? Yeah, I want to bring on the University of Reading and the University of Nottingham. Hey, Upsy Daisies, how are we doing? You'll be unmuted. Can't hear you.
There we go.
Hello. Hi, Upsy Daisies, how are you doing?
Yeah, it's going well. Not here, but we're kind of disappearing a bit.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing of Zoom. You'd have thought they'd have sorted that by now, wouldn't you? But it's sort of quite fun. The daisies are there, though. It has to be said. So is it going Upsy or is it going Daisy or is it both?
We're pretty consistent. We're getting about 50% on most of.
Fantastic. Well, that's an MSc pass.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, it's lovely to see you. And there's one more round to go, barring a tie break. So all the best for the rest. So thank you. So Reading, one of the places where Botanical University Challenge started, and then to Nottingham, where we're going for the live finals in July. Hello, Nottingham. Hello, Nottingham.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
So the $1 million question is: do you or do you not know the answer?
Nope.
Not in that round.
I can't even see you. You're pinging in and out.
We're tapping the center screen.
Can you lean forward? Can you lean forward, sort of, and hold yourself still? That's sometimes. Oh, I see you're in. Yeah. That's great. I can see a couple of you now. Tell us how's it? How do you feel?
Bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
We've
not
had some
allowed.
ups and downs.
Ups and downs. Well, that's life, isn't it? That's life. But would you still say this is a fun, friendly contest, or should we change it? Should we change the name?
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, I know. I'm okay. I'm just. There's only one answer you can say to that. No, of course it's a fun, friendly contest. And there's the final round is coming up, and that's questions set by our wonderful chairs. So, Leif, Henry, anything to say at this stage before we move into the final round? And are we going to get a scoreboard, or are we going to wait till the end? We're going to wait till the end for suspense, my tech team is saying, and that sounds fine to me. That sounds absolutely fine.
I can tell you.
Henry, Leif?
I think we need to know that Cambridge is in the lead, so all the others know who to target.
Still.
A draw between Cambridge and Man Met for first place.
Okay.
Closely followed by Kew, Oxford and Warwick.
So those are the 5 tops. And can you give me any words about what's going on in the tie-break position? So even if it's not names of institutes, the sort of numbers that are around that middle number 8 point. Yeah. looks like we might be rocketing towards a tiebreak after this round. So a lot depends on this round. And the bottom line is that you're just doing amazingly, all of you, but we've got a big bunch in the middle in the tiebreak position. So we're going to move on now to round 6. Heavens, round 6. And that's Henry to start, I think, and then we're alternating questions.
Yeah, but it's Leaf's question. That's the only thing.
Oh, in which case I will start this one. So question 1, which of these characteristics is the most striking feature of Wolffia aryza?
And moving on, question 2, roughly how many agamous species of dandelions are there in Britain and Ireland?
Question 3, in which of these places in Scotland would you expect to find the Scottish primrose, Primula scotica?
Question 4, how old are the earliest macrofossils of vascular land plants?
Question 5, name this mountain plant from the British Isles.
Question 6, Frank Hepper was a taxonomist in Kew, working on the flora of tropical West Africa. But in 2003, he published a paper definitively illustrating the impact of global climate change on plants. Which of these features were the scientific basis of that claim?
Question 7. Where might you find the slender naiad, Naias filiformis?
Question 8. What is the term used to describe the separate individuals derived vegetatively from a single parent plant?
Question 9. What is this plant?
And question 10, where is the oldest botanic garden in Britain and Ireland?
Nice. Henry, how did you choose your questions?
I wanted questions that intrigued me from my past. I nearly did paleobotany. I have a really good collection. I work in a museum here, which has a really good collection of Carboniferous fossil plants. So I wanted to do some, and if it's got teeth and it's a dinosaur, everybody goes for dinosaurs, but nobody goes for fossil plants. So I wanted a question on fossil plants. And then I wanted a decent ecology one, which I had to drop because Ireland and Britain do not use the same vegetation classification, which is really annoying. But then I guess the world doesn't. And I was just intrigued, and dandelions were my speciality. So I will cut my answer to that one short because I can bore people to death on dandelions. Right, let's go. Are we there?
Cool,
Oh,
yeah.
almost.
Round 6 answers. So question 1, which of these characteristics is the most striking feature of Wolffia aryza? It is the smallest flowering plant in Britain and Ireland. I cannot wait to find this plant. I think it's called rootless duckweed is the English name for it.
Yeah.
Very, very, very small. And I just love with the same, 4 building blocks of DNA, just in different orders, you can get something that's tiny like Wolffia aryza, or you can get, 44-meter tall tree. I just think it's brilliant. So good. So I'm desperate to see that one.
And it's curious because it's used for very high protein content, so you can use it for food, and it's harvested in vast quantities in other parts of the world. And you can use it for cleaning water out as well, taking pollutions out.
Of course.
Okay, my specialist. my specialist question. How many agama species of dandelions are there? Oh, I'm really pleased. 250 is the right answer, although I always tell people that it depends on the taxonomist you are asking, because two taxonomists will always give you two different answers.
Question 3. In which of these places in Scotland would you expect to find the Scottish primrose? The answer to that one is Orkney. Nice, 44% you got that right. Yeah, another one. So my questions were all based around the plants that I most want to see. Some of the questions got changed a little bit, but yeah, I'm desperate to go and see Scottish primrose. It looks absolutely beautiful.
And Orkney is a lovely place to go.
That is true. I've been to Shetland, but not Orkney yet. So
I've been to Shetland. I've been to Orkney, but not Shetland. We will swap sometime. Next question then. How old are the earliest macrofossils of vascular land plants? Let's show the results. And it's about 430 million years ago. And the particular fossil was discovered a long time ago, but nobody knew what it was. And it was only about Cooksonia, and it comes from Czechoslovakia. It was only about 10 years ago they discovered exactly how old it was. And it's vascularization that's the key to identifying land plants. And they're not sure whether it is photosynthetic or not, but some reports say that it's got stomata, but it's got vascularization. Spores go back quite a bit earlier, but you cannot definitively prove that it's a land plant. So, and you don't know what it is. So well done for that one.
Question 5. What is this mountain plant? It is the yellow saxifrage, one of the most beautiful golden yellow, sort of like mango coloured petals with those orange speckles on. I'd originally picked marsh saxifrage, which is the one that I really, really want to see. But yellow saxifrage, seen it loads, absolutely adore it. Worthy replacement.
Frank Hepper, and which of the features he used for scientific basis of global climate change? Go. And it's flowering times. He was, in many ways, a very ordinary man, but with an absolutely extraordinary obsession. He walked round Kew during his lunch break, noting flowering times of plant, when they first flowered. Just ordinary Kew plants in the borders. And over a period of about 30 years, he has this wonderful set of graphs showing that over the years, flowering times got earlier and earlier and earlier. And it's just an extraordinary piece of work. The moral being, always take a notebook out with you when you have a lunch break, and always take notes. It doesn't matter what it is, just take notes. Do it over and over again.
Question 7. Where might you find the slender naiad? Freshwater lakes. Nice. Good to see most people getting that. The naiads, and particularly the holly-leaved naiad as well, are just these magical ethereal plants that, again, I'm desperate to see. But I love that to see those, you generally have to get in the water, at least to see them at their best, or perhaps in a little boat and float over the surface. Yeah, to see it in its true glory. But yeah, any kind of naiads, I'm not really that fussy. Slender, holly-leaved, maybe there are some others. I'd take any of them.
What's the term used to describe separate individuals from a single parent plant? Good. 64% got the right answer. Ramets. I've been working on ramets for years. I love the way herbaceous plants like clovers fall apart as they grow. And what starts off as one plant ends up as hundreds of physiological separate plants. And this can be, it's spectacular. Gustavus Adolphus roamed around Europe in the 30 Years' War, and his campsites are marked by Pteridgium aquilinum, huge clones that spread miles across, all because they germinated from one plant, one campfire. That's kind of fun. You can do nice things with ramets. Next one, yeah.
All right, who knows what this plant is? So this, yes, handsome woolly-wort. This is, I think, possibly the plant I want to see above any other, because it's a liverwort, but it's hairy. It's a hairy liverwort, which is just insane. You know, we're so used to seeing, well, mosses and liverworts as being these like water or damp loving plants that are like really smooth and silky. But this one's hairy. It's like little fluffy, got little fluffy fingers, and it's called handsome woolly-wort, and I think that's amazing. Yeah, so it's nice to see lots of people got that as a bryophyte.
Where does it grow?
So it grows. I thought, yeah, it's not actually that rare, but it likes to grow along sort of like rivers and streams on banks and things.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm still got my eyes peeled. That one.
And where's the oldest botanic garden in Britain and Ireland? Ah, right. Oxford is the answer. 1621. Edinburgh was close behind in 1670, I think. There are a couple of other gardens, and like Chelsea Physic and things like this, but it's interesting. The oldest garden that was used for botanical purposes was actually the garden for Westminster Abbey that is still there, but it's in the deanery, so it's not a proper botanic garden. But that was used in the 11th century. So that's 900 years old. But the oldest botanic garden is Oxford. So well done with that, and close run for Edinburgh. Well, some reasonably high scores there. I thought that was not bad.
Yeah, I think we did a pretty good job there, Henry.
So, Leaf,
yeah,
what made you choose your questions?
Yeah, so I chose mine originally based on the 5 plants that I want to see the most.
Okay.
In some cases for years I've been staring at in my wildflower books or my plant books generally, just being like, one day I'll get lucky and I'll find this thing. Don't know what I'll do. In the past when I found things that I've wanted to see for years, I've danced. I've just sort of like collapsed to the ground. Loads of things like that. So who knows?
Well, you're in good company because Linnaeus fell down to pray in front of gorse flowering on Hampstead Heath, as I recall. So the plants have instilled great reactions from all kinds of people. You are one of the more recent, but yeah.
Go on.
No, I was just going to say the woolly-wort, the handsome woolly-wort. Henry pointed out that there was a bit of a clue there because we had British Biological Society as the credit, and I didn't get round to changing that to BBS. So I hope that gave a little bit of help to some of you, because there were only 2 bryophytes on the list. But there you go. I mean, we do our best to be generous. Yeah,
I'm just thinking I must be slightly odd because I go for common plants. Thank you, Jonathan. Yeah. Anybody who clog dances in lifts must be slightly odd. Okay.
No. I'm with you with the common plants. Carry on. I agree.
Yeah, it's when a common plant disappears, like and when starlings disappear. That's what really worries me. I kind of don't get too excited about Phytuma that only exists in half a dozen places, or Helianthemum alpinum. I like, but it's the common ones that change their distributions that I'm really interested in. It's like I said, why are they in such numbers here and not over there? And then what happens? Why do they change? Why do they disappear? Or why do they appear?
Yeah. Well, that's exactly why we choose our chairs. So we like different approaches, different views and attitudes and fanaticisms about plants. So yeah, it's been great having you both. And I have to say, I'm sure on behalf of the teams, that although they may have been a bit busy, but the audience, that it's been great having your insights into the answers. That's one of the great added values of this competition, I would say. Just so the teams know, we're not planning to bring any more teams back. We're working on the leaderboard, which is the final leaderboard. And is it up?
Can we get a drum roll?
Are we going to take a break or are we going to see it? Okay. I think we're going to do it because I think it's updated. So we are going to go to the leaderboard when I get the link. Okay, so wait for it. Dum dum dum. I was looking forward to saying, and the leaderboard is coming after the break, but no, we're not going to do that. We're going to
have you seen it in advance, Jonathan, or are you seeing it for the first time?
I was given a hint, but I don't know whether that was the final one. So no, I'm pretty much in the dark as usual. And I'm waiting for a link to come through, but I'm looking in the wrong place perhaps. I'm just creating a little bit of drama here.
I love a bit of drama.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm botany drama me, as everyone knows me. We're only just after 5 o'clock, so we're doing well. So here it comes. I'm going to have a look at it, and I'm going to look down. Oh,
we've got a tie between Trinity and Bristol.
Oh, thanks for giving it away. I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it now. Yeah, we do have a tie break, it seems. Is that correct? Is that correct? Yeah, I'm getting a nod. Hang on, I'm just going to share. So we do have a tie break. I hope this is right because you've got an audience and teams out there. So we've got Cambridge, Manchester Met. You'll have to shout if this is not correct, but my understanding is this is. Cambridge, Manchester Met right at the top still.
47.
Yeah, with 47 points. So fantastic round of applause for them. Then Oxford, 42, Warwick, 41, Eden and Kew. How interesting. On 40, two Irish teams, almost, but certainly Galway are there securely with 38 at number 7. So round of applause. And we do have a tiebreak between Trinity Dublin and Bristol on 36. And Nottingham and Portsmouth, just one question in it. It's so close. That's the way it goes. Congratulations to those at the top, commiserations to those at the bottom or lower down, but you can see where you've done, and we are going to have to move into a tie break. But we are going to take a break first. The tie break will be between the two teams on 36. So please all wait around. We're going to take, how long would you like? Just a 5-minute break. So we'll see you in 5 for the first online Botanical University Challenge tie break between Trinity College Dublin and the University of Bristol. Trinity Pteridophytes, that should be Trinity Pteridophytes, and Bristol Pistols.
Right, good luck both teams, and I believe I'm ready when you are. Question 1. Which of the following applies to the genus Echinops in the Asteraceae? And question 2. Which of the following species is typically found on acidic soil? Question 3. What does a botologist study? Question 4. Which of these grasses has no visible ligule? Question 5. Arabidopsis thaliana was the first plant to have its genome sequenced. In what year was it published? Question 6. Which one of these or without any further preparation? Question 7. Which one of these goldenrods is native in Britain and Ireland? Question 8. Which of the following is not a natural predator of aphids? Question 9. Most flowering plants have anthocyanins as the main red-purple pigment. Which of these groups of plants has betalains instead? And question 10, Manila hemp is made from which of these plants? Well done, teams. I hope you managed more of the questions than each other. And I hope the other participants enjoyed the questions as well. A couple of them are quite challenging. I particularly liked the botology, as it was one that I actually knew.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. So yes, through the answers now, yeah.
Right, we are ready with the answers. Echinops in the Asteraceae. Let's go. It has only one floret per capitulum. Of course, these capitula are then arranged in tight globose heads. So it looks like there are lots of them. So somebody got that right. And the next question. On acidic soil, Heather, both of you got that one right. The next question. Batology. Brambles is the answer. Neither of you got that right. And I can assure you, you do not want to study hawkweeds. I have friends of mine who have given up in desperation after several years. Next question, please. No visible ligule. That is the cockspur grass, Echinocloa. So sorry about that one for all of you. Didn't get that one right. And the next question. Yes, please show the results. Which year was the genome published? 2000. There you go. Okay. And the next question, please. Eating raw without any preparation. Yes. And the American pawpaw. Both of you got that one right. The next question, which of the solidagos occurs in Britain and Ireland? And it's Virgaurea. Not many of you obviously work on acidic grasslands. And which predator does not eat aphids? Yes. Rove beetles. I had to look that one up. I did not know. And the next question, please. Which group of plant uses betalains instead of anthocyanins? And it is Cactaceae. Right. That's interesting. Question 10, Musa textilis. Sorry, I've given you the result away. This is one I knew. It's kind of given away in the name, Musa textilis. Hemp is made from the rotted fibers of a banana plant, although it's a banana relative. Right. Well done, teams. You certainly got a lot of them right, but not all of them. Let's see who got most right.
Okay, I think we're probably going to need a minute or two to get
that
sorted.
Okay.
I was just doing a mental calculation, and it's pretty close, I would say.
It could be a tie, judging by how they went there.
It could be a tie, and if it's a tie, we'll need a moment to decide. I have an idea, but ladies and gentlemen, and everybody, my lords, ladies, gentlemen, folks, botanists, and everybody. Yeah, I think, well, I'm speaking, I will announce the result of the tie break. I actually think quite appropriately is another tie. What was the scores? 3 points each. I will leave the screen for a while and let you, maybe Henry and Leif, talk over that while I just have a little chat with my colleagues, and I'll be back very soon. But fantastic, well done. That was a tough round, teams. Very, very well done, and I'll be back soon.
So, Leif, I've got a question for you.
Yes.
How do you get people more engaged with plants? I mean, I'm getting on for gerontocracy. Therefore, it comes naturally. But how do you get young people interested in plants?
Oh, isn't that the golden ticket question, Henry? It is very much a question that I'm constantly trying to figure out the answer to. it's something that I'm making up as I go along. I think the most useful tool that I find that works at least a little bit is social media, because pretty much all young people have some form of social media. At least there are thousands, millions of people who do. And so, yeah, I find using those platforms is a really good way of reaching groups of people who, you know, I'm not going to necessarily attract to talks that I do or walks that I do or anything like that. But yeah, whenever I get the chance, I just basically go full 100% enthusiasm, because I'm a strong believer of the fact that enthusiasm is infectious. And
it is.
You know, that's all I can really do is just share all the really cool things in the best possible way and hope for the best. But it's not easy. It's not easy.
See, one of the things I did years ago was model plants on a computer, and I made drawings from these plants. The program that I used years ago no longer exists, so I'm rewriting it in Python before I do it in C++. And I'm just thinking, there ought to be immersive experiences like the Van Gogh show that's been doing the rounds really recently. And there ought to be, half my friends you still use computer games, and most of them are exploratory. Some of them are shoot 'em up, but there's nothing, as far as I can tell, that involves a decent set of plant games that and plants are highly competitive. I watched them kill each other quite happily. And phytosadism was a hot topic in woodland ecology decades ago. So there ought to be ways of doing this.
Yeah, well, I think now that the technology to observe plants has become so much better. I don't know if you watched The Green Planet.
Of course.
But what was brilliant about that was that now the technology is so good, we can tell the stories that plants have to tell in a visual way, and talk about them in the same way as we do animals. So you've got David Attenborough there being like, just narrating this battle between plants that you're actually watching.
Yeah.
And it's not some either something really slow or something
you could
really grainy or anything. It's actually really exciting, and it was really, really good to hear him narrating it in the same way as he does all the animal stuff. So I think, now that we have that,
I think
incorporating that into video games and things would be brilliant.
And I think taking a starting point, that astonishing the sod of earth that Dürer draw, I've forgotten exactly what it's called, but it's a piece of grassland that is absolutely astonishing. I thought starting from that and making a game out of it, watching how that grows into a woodland or whatever, given alternative strategies, would be a really good starting point for something like this. And you could make it a full room immersive experience, starting from a proper artwork.
Yeah.
Or a video game on the side.
Yeah, I mean, you could even, what I always love is imagining myself as something really, really tiny, and wandering around in just like a meadow or something. And because can you imagine how unbelievable it would be to have, like, buttercup trampolines, like 40-50 meters in the sky, and it would just be an incredible experience.
Yeah, an ant's eye view of a piece of grassland. Yes,
exactly. Yeah. I love to think about the world in that way, and I think if more people did, even for just 5 minutes, I think that would change a lot of people's perspectives quite a lot. So something like that would be brilliant.
I need to get programming again. Oh dear.
Marvelous. Well, thank you for that chat. That was very useful, very interesting, but also useful to allow us to progress with our contest. And I'd like to bring back our two tie-break teams, Trinity Dublin and Bristol, please. and I need a coin.
Is this your big idea, Jonathan? Flipping a coin?
No, I'm just really poor. I need a. Hello, Trinity. Hello, Bristol.
Hello.
Hello. First of all, tell us how the tiebreak round was for you.
Stressful.
Really
Very
bad.
stressful.
I could see that because I can see, I don't know, I think everyone can see the teams when you answer, and some of those questions, it was right at the last second.
Yeah.
Some of them, Heather, it grows on acid. Yeah, no probs. You've done that up to 2 seconds. But some of the others were really tough. And just, I didn't know who'd answered what, but I did a mental math as John did. And I saw it could be either very close or a draw. And it was a draw. So first of all, virtual and actual here, round of applause for you both. That was, we could, I mean, Botanical University Challenge kind of goes from strength to strength. It's always new things happening. This is the first time we've had a proper tie break. I did think statistically it was a chance. I did wonder if we'd had more teams, and commiserations to the teams who were so close to the wire, but that's how it goes, and you did so well, and you'll be back again, I'm sure. But we've had to think, what do we do now? So as I say, we could toss a coin, but we're not tossing a coin. Next week, we have the quarterfinals, and it's the same Eventbrite link. We hope all the teams who've not managed to get through this week will come and watch. And it has 2 parts to it. The first part next week is multiple choice, like we've been having today. The second part is questions for each team, and each team will answer rounds of questions, and the teams are arranged, organized at random. So we're not pitting teams against each other. And this means that we can use next week, the first round next week, to sort out the 8 quarterfinalists. So I would like to announce that we are inviting both Trinity Fights and Bristol Pistols through to the quarterfinals. And one of you will go through that first round into the second round of the quarterfinals. So you have a chance, and I hope that's a good solution. And I'd like a round of applause and maybe a few words from you.
Yeah, thanks very much.
What else could we do? Tossing a coin or what we've done, I would say, were the 2 options. So I think we've chosen right. Congratulations. I'm just going to share my screen, but happy for others to have a bit of a chat now. I'm just going to share my screen with the final results. But please, Leif, Henry, John, do chip in.
Well, I think that's brilliant. A very just way of finishing off. Very good, whoever came up with that idea.
It's a really good idea, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Lovely. Okay. So we've come to the conclusion of the Botanical University 2023. We've had 25 wonderful teams. 25 wonderful teams. Tell me if I've made any errors, because all this is done in real time. Huh? Oh yeah, no, that's understandable. And no, both of these. Yeah, because sorry, I'm God. Yeah, as I say, I'm surprised I've got a job. Is that looking better? Because I'd left it to remove the one team. So okay, let's start again. This is becoming a bit of a pattern of this year. I think it's because I'm actually in the room with everyone, so everything goes wrong. But anyway, I hope this is clear. We say commiserations to our wonderful teams who have played and didn't quite get through. Some of you very, very close, all of you wonderful champions, and all of you welcome to the Botany Festival in Nottingham, 5th and 6th of July. So please go get those dates in your diary. We'll be in touch about that. And I'm sure from what we've heard from you that you've had a great time today. and be proud. Be proud of being part of this. Be proud of your performance, and onwards from strength to strength. So, round of applause for our wonderful team runner-up. Let's call them runners-up. Marvelous.
I think we should stress, as I said right at the very start to the teams, is that we know that there are going to be quizzes right around the country and beyond watching this who've come way lower than even the bottom of our teams. Is that it's just remarkable how well they all do.
Yeah.
We are just seeing the best of the best here, aren't we?
Absolutely, and we salute you all, and the fact that we've gone to 25 teams from 18, and that includes a lot of new teams. It includes some teams who've played before who weren't able to play this year. I can see this going on, and we will need to change the formula the more teams we get, and I see no reason why the numbers wouldn't go up and up. So once again, thank you so much for taking part. Commiserations. But do watch next week, and we look forward to seeing you in Nottingham in July. Moving on, not 8, but 9. Let me do a quick tot up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That looks right, I hope. 9 teams through to the quarterfinals, and just to repeat, a round of applause. What great work for all of you. A very exciting tiebreak. Absolutely nail-biting, and a wonderful result, really, I would say. So, yeah, absolutely, congratulations. We will be in touch with you very soon with the details of next week. Just to remind all of you, actually, that you'll be getting prizes. The Field Studies Council, IDA, will be winging their way to the runners-up. And then we'll be stacking up the prizes for those entering the quarterfinals. Can I also say to the teams and to our audience that we have feedback questionnaires, which we've used in previous years. We're sending you the revised one at some stage soon, because we would love your feedback. We've seen feedback in the chat on YouTube. Some pointers for improvement, some pointers about things that you've really enjoyed. We are about evolving this quiz, but also the side of Botanical University Challenge, which is all about supporting plant-aware students. And we're looking really to build and build. So yeah, when you get the links to the feedback questionnaires, please send them in. The information there is really vital. So once more then, back to the 9 teams here, the 9 glorious teams here. We will see you next week, Wednesday. We will send you instructions, and audience, please come along. You can use the QR code here. It's the same. I will send the YouTube link to the same group. Maybe we'll get some more signing up for next week. So round of applause, and I don't know if anyone would like to add anything before I go into my final thanks. I think we're done, but that was a very exciting afternoon. I think we've done quite well time-wise. Thank you, Henry and Leif. If you would like to say any final words, please do now.
Only just congratulations to the teams that have gone through, and again, just to reiterate how deeply encouraged I am that we have so many botany, plant science students around the country getting involved and sort of participating within this community. It's really, really good to see.
Yep. Well done, everybody. And it is, as Leif says, it's just lovely to see so many people enjoying plants and sharing plants with each other. Good.
Absolutely. I remember back to 2016 when we had Colin Clubb opening the first Botanical University Challenge. All the chairs that have been involved from then to now have been impressed and surprised. And John, Warren and I would say we're not surprised. That's why we started this thing off in 2016, because we knew that botany was alive and kicking, and heavens, haven't you 25 teams showed us that? And that will carry on next week. I'll allow you, John. Well, I say allow. You can have the last word. I'm just putting this slide up, which I put up before, just to say that nothing happens like this without a team. And I'm not going to go through all the individuals here, but just to show this is our team. This is our planning and technical team. And these span our social media work, writing the questions, checking the questions, helping find our funders, and shout out thanks to the New Phytologist Foundation, the Gatsby Foundation, the British Ecological Society, and also the Field Studies Council and Botanical Society of Britain and Ireland for their support. We are only able to function like this, and certainly to have the live final with financial and other support. And we're very grateful, and we'll be looking to keep this up in the future. Others here are involved in the tech side. I'm particularly delighted to see Jonathan Charmley back after a period away. And it's lovely to see him back in the room here with Seb, with Hannah, with Alistair. And of course, it's lovely to see myself here as well. Anyway, this is our team. Without them, we wouldn't be able to function. Thank you, team. And thanks again to our 25 student teams, and let's hope we see you all again roughly this time, or 2 p.m. Next week for the quarterfinals. And I think that just leaves me to ask John Warren to sign off.
I don't know what else there is to say that you've not said already, Jonathan. Just a big thanks to everybody. Thanks to all the teams for taking part. And in spite of you saying you're not surprised how well they've done, the number of discussions we've said, that question's really hard, that question's really hard, oh, I'm not sure about that question. The top teams are getting virtually all of them right. How do they do that? It's amazing. Well done, everybody. Wonderful afternoon. Enjoy your botany, and see you in a week's time.
He just did. Okay, and that's the end. Thank you all very much. Bye-bye, and see you next week.